all not going to be games that you win with style points, but do you look at it, hey, a win's a win?
No. In the job that you have, I definitely don't. And to think like last night equals tonight, you win or you lose, that doesn't weigh up. Now, there are some good things that happened in that game, and there are some poor things that happened in that game. And, my mind is completely on what do we got to do to not be in that situation. And some of it is you missed some free throws. In fact, you missed a lot of free throws. Some of it is we had poor fouls. We fouled them too much when it mattered most in the last 3 minutes. You can't just be lifted off the floor with like a little head and shoulders and somebody sails into you. You have to have the discipline to be second, not first off the floor. Those types of things are on my mind. I thought that to end the second period, sloppy. Sloppy. We want the last shot, we don't get the last shot, we get sped up type stuff. We miss somebody in transition, they get a dunk, we walk off the floor. And so that's my job, to think like that. Now, the good news is you remain undefeated, the only team in the East to remain undefeated. Miami lost to the Lakers. You move up to second in the East. You had a great weekend, almost a weekend. Two games back to back. I think we're 9-1 in back-to-back games. That's how I see it.
As a coach, what's your reaction when they're hacking you at the end of the game? You just tell them
I was actually okay. My mind was more about time. Like the clock kept stopping. The clock kept stopping. It was more that than anything. And so, my belief is he's going to have to go through some of that to get where we want to deliver him. I feel a responsibility to do that. And you weigh that up of, well, you got to make sure you have the game as secure as you can. And I felt confident that he was going to be okay. And what I didn't like is the fact that the clock just kept stopping. I didn't like that. And so one time we had a possession where Jay Rich had it. After that, we gave him the ball.
Your decision to go with Norvel as the backup today? I mean, normally it's Kyle.
Yeah. Just we wanted to see what we have in him. Like we had a little taste in New York. I wanted to see more. And I thought he was really good. I thought he was really good. Like he is a sort of Nerlens like to me, rim protector, shot blocker, quick off the floor. I thought he was good.
Coach, 7 of the last 8, I think Tobias has had at least 20.
Yeah.
What kind of case is he making to be an all-star?
All you got to do is repeat and write what you just said, and there it is. You don't need much more ammunition. I mean, he's been so steady and just responsible, like reliable, go-to guy. And I put him kind of in a bunch of different spots. Middle pick and roll, ISO, 3-ball, making his free throws, plays that back down pound game and can jump over people, smaller people. He's having a hell of a year.
Brett, when you had the mistakes that you had in the fourth quarter, and you had a little bit of that on Sunday night against Toronto, are you surprised that this stuff pops up time to time still with you guys?
Not at all. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. You got Matisse flying down the court, he gets a steal and he throws it behind the back pass to Ben, where he just go probably dunk it or come to a jump stop. It's just, they're not perfect. And we just haven't, I think this is our 11th, no, still it's our 10th game out of whatever we played, 26, where we haven't had our team, our starting, so I'm not surprised. And neither should you all be. And I really mean that. There are some things that I think no matter how much you played together or their ages, I can't honestly look at you guys and say that. Like the fouls and some of the other stuff that's not smart, that's on me and that's on them. But to be surprised with some of the other stuff, not really.
Going back to Tobias, I think it looked like you put him on JJ defensively. Is that something you would have felt comfortable doing in a matchup like that last year?
Probably not. Probably not. And I feel like when you come into this particular game and you say, you know, pre-mortem stuff, what's it look like if you're going to lose? Like, how are they going to beat us? And this team, it puts up threes. You know, I think when you study our defensive schemes, we lead the NBA in fewest attempted against us and fewest made. They only had, I think, 9 or 10 tonight. And they put up 40 threes, you know, 41 threes, and make a heck of a lot more than that number that I just said. So Tobias's length on JJ and, you know, Matisse on somebody else, and Ben Simmons and Jay Rich were able to have the length across the board. Could Tobias have done something like that last year? I didn't see him like that. Maybe he could have, but I never saw him or played him like that. And this year I do. And I think that it's part of your question about, oh, he's having a great year. You go right to offense. I think he's having a hell of a year defensively.
It's kind of the interview stages. What have you seen out of the Joel Embiid, Josh Richardson pick and roll combo?
I like it. You know, we haven't had many I call them cross-back guards, you know, where they bulldog. Joel comes up and he sets and holds that screen. And, you know, Joel's been used to like setting screens and rolling, and Jay Rich wants to bulldog and play cross-back game, so Joe's got to hold that. The growth of that and the timing of that and the understanding of that takes a little bit of time. But I believe that it can grow to something unique. I think that the partnership is growing for sure. And it's just now like Joel reading, like, how long do I hold it versus slip it versus roll it. I want him rolling like 100% of the time, mostly. And there's an evolution of familiarity and understanding of what the guard wants. It's growing.
Norvel did have 5 fouls tonight in his time out there. How much of that is things he needs to be more disciplined about, and how much is you're going to have a limited time, like you'll give use him?
I almost don't even care. You know, like, he played hard and he fouled. Like, I feel like I can go back and answer it better when I look at like the types of fouls. But if his fouls are, you know, he's trying to block a shot, good. You know, and he fouled somebody, good. I can answer it maybe better after I see it, but I never felt the fouls as I remember them were just like undisciplined. I thought they were just trying to make a play at the rim as I remember.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.